Jordy here for Cinecom.net and welcome to Creative Wednesday. Today we're going to take a look at 5 super easy camera movements which you can all do handheld. And these movements are going to contribute to your story. So without further ado, let's hop into the film studio. Thank you, Janica Lorenzo, for setting up that very nice set. Now, tip number 1, we're gonna shoot an action scene. Usually that's gonna be an upbeat part in your film, which feels energetic. So starting off, you could look for creative camera angles. It's a crazy scene, so don't be afraid to experiment. I like to work a lot with point of view. You can have your camera mounted to the actor and look through the eyes of Lorenzo. Or you can look through the perspective of the object that he's interacting with. Also, try to get very low to the ground, perhaps shoot from underneath a table. Or do the opposite and bring the camera to a top shot. You don't have to do this from a scissor lift, obviously. You can also just stand on a ladder. Just be careful doing it. Now, cutting between these extreme camera angles makes your action scene more dynamic and real. As your talent is struggling, whether that is fighting with someone else, hysterically looking for something, exercising, doesn't matter. That struggle or action is being enhanced by the fast cutting between those different and unique camera angles. Tip number 2, you're in a situation where the talent needs to come up with an idea to fix a problem. So first, we've got Lorenzo thinking and looking around for ideas. And to enhance the tension that he has to come up with an idea fast, we're going to shoot handheld, but at the same time slowly walk forward, closing him in. It feels like a progress bar. Once we reach the talent, the time is up. So that whole tension of time is being amplified by the camera movements. And once we get too close, something has to happen. Time's up. Let's say that Lorenzo found a solution. We cut to the next scene. Now what I love to do here is create a very subtle camera transition. He has an idea, his mind opens up, and he's going to take action. Translating that into a camera movement, we could take a sudden step backwards, opening up the frame, making room for his next action. And then we cut to the next scene, which might be Lorenzo running outside. We start that shot by also taking a step backwards, transitioning between the two scenes. Now, this is a very dynamic way to not only visualize the story, but also to cut between the two scenes. Now, if you find these tips very useful already, then you'll definitely want to hear the message from our sponsor, Full Sail University. Working in the film industry is an exciting and rewarding experience. If you know you want to be part of it, but don't know where to begin, check out Full Sail University, where you can learn all the aspects of filmmaking and cinematography, either on campus or online. Full Sail's film bachelor's degree program immerses you in the world of filmmaking from every angle. You'll gain hands-on experience while learning what it's like to work on a large-scale production, from start to finish, giving you a feel for the role each crew member plays and allowing you to specialize in the ones where your strengths and interests lay. Then the Digital Cinematography online bachelor's degree program merges the artistic concepts of traditional filmmaking with the technical tools used in everything from documentary filmmaking to commercial production and web video, preparing you to be a jack of all trades in a small crew production. Now, these degrees are offered in an accelerated format to get you into the field faster, with hands-on projects, industry experienced faculty, and professional equipment and sets. You'll be prepared to pursue your passion. Now, Full Sail grads have gone on to work on some pretty incredible films and TV shows like Godzilla vs. Kong, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and The Mandalorian, just to name a few. And they are regularly part of an Emmy and Oscar nominated projects. If you want to find out more about these film programs and how to get started, just visit filmsail.edu/Cinecom. That's filmsail.edu/Cinecom. Now, moving forward with camera movement number 3. This time Lorenzo is tied up, unconscious and alone. The kidnapper is gone and Lorenzo is about to wake up in this location for the first time. There are a couple of ways to film such a scene, but what I love to do is to get the audience into the same emotion and feeling as Lorenzo has. So for starters, we can bring the camera on a wide-angle lens close to Lorenzo, and as he wakes up, he looks around to figure out where he is. As for the camera, we're going to do the opposite and not show the environment. Now, this creates an irritating feeling. The audience doesn't see where Lorenzo is, which is exactly the feeling that the talent has. Lorenzo is still figuring out where he is. So this time, by doing the opposite and waiting with showing the environment, we exaggerate the feeling that the talent has. Now, of course, after some time, we do want to show the environment, but how do we do that? Well, what's the feeling of the actor? What's his position? Well, he's being kidnapped, and he's currently waking up alone in this dark place. So that's what I'd visually like to show. To do that, take an extreme long shot and frame the talent somewhere in the bottom corner. We're showing the environment, and at the same time, we're showing the loneliness of Lorenzo by placing him there in the corner of the frame. On to camera tip number 4. Lorenzo is still tied up and he found a way to break free. But as he's trying to cut the rope, the kidnapper is approaching. A very typical scene with lots of tension. But how do we emphasize that tension and mostly the feeling that Lorenzo is going through right now? Well, we're going to work with that progress bar again. We visually show that Yannick, the bad guy, is coming back. But we film this from a telelens, preferably with a foreground object. In this way, it feels like the audience is watching Yannick from a safe distance. Perhaps kind of spying on him, which is exactly what Lorenzo does right now. He doesn't see Yannick, but he can feel or hear him coming closer. So Lorenzo is tracking Yannick from a distance. With him, I want to do the opposite and shoot from a wide angle, getting close to him. The audience feels with Lorenzo. But as Yannick comes closer, we're going to cut to a long shot on a telelens and perhaps go back to Lorenzo on a wide angle. And this way, we're creating much more tension as the camera is starting to doubt and perhaps leave Lorenzo. We're gonna look at the scene from a distance. You know, as the audience, we don't want to get caught by Yannick, right? So the whole idea behind such a scene is where sits the audience and what does the audience do? Are we close to the talent or are we watching from a safe distance? That is something wonderful to play with. This brings us to the last camera trick for better visual storytelling. This time, Yannick and Lorenzo are both gang members and they are sitting in their headquarters discussing how they are going to rob a bank. Now, there's always this smart guy with the best ideas. And to emphasize that, we're going to make him more superior. And we can do that with two very simple camera tricks combined. First, we shoot from a low angle. We're looking up to the character. And second, we want to add some dynamic movement into the shot since he's on a thrive to share great ideas. We're going to push the camera forwards and then cut to the other guy at eye level. It's not comedy, so we don't want to create a smart and a dumb guy. They are both equal, but Lorenzo just happens to be the smarter person at the moment. If we were to shoot this from a high angle, we would make Yannick less than Lorenzo. So keep an eye level, close up on a telelens to see how Yannick is focusing on the idea coming from Lorenzo. And this, with cutting back and forward, you can make side movements, but keep the camera low and on a wide angle lens to make him look extra badass. And those were my 5 camera tricks. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more visual storytelling tutorials, we actually have several of these tutorials. You can find a playlist in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Full Sail, for the support. Definitely make sure to check out those guys as well. And as always, stay creative.
In de bank gaan we Call of Duty spelen. Jij moet zorgen dat we winnen, anders gaat het niet. Daar pak je touw, je gaat naar de andere kant van de stad, daar verwisselt je dat touw voor uw touw en dan gaan we dat touw doen naar de bank. Oké?